Hey everybody. I just wanted to kind of put something on the record because I have a prediction, kind of how some of this impeachment stuff is going to be working out here pretty soon. That I kind of just wanted the record so that I can say, hey, yeah, look, I told you this is going to how it's going to work out. So, if you're not up to date on what's going on with this impeachment proceedings, all right. So, they had Adam Schiff headed the proceedings. He's head of the House Intelligence Committee. He had secret inquiries in the basement within a um, closed room deep in the basement of the congressional building. Um, Basically, very limited access to that, all top secret. Control was able to, you know, kind of dig up as much information as he needed to be able to present a narrative. I just want to say, by the way, this is not a single. I'm not a partisan in any way. I'm libertarian. I'm not straight Republican. I'm not straight Democrat. Anything like that. I believe in freedom and liberty. But I follow a lot of politics, so I kind of feel like I have a good understanding of what's going on with all this. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So Adam Schiff, he had this large, um, you know, private inquiry going on for a while. Um, to really drum up a lot of aggravation to people and kind of drum up media attention and things like that. Whenever he finally went forward and had the official inquiry that we've seen on the mainstream media and the news and everything like that, he had already dictated within the House proceedings um, who what witnesses could be called, who couldn't be called. He severely limited the minority or the Republicans' ability to call witnesses, to even question certain people and things like that. And I personally feel a lot of this was just done as a political stunt to use towards Trump in the coming election. Because, I mean, those of us um, that follow the politics, follow the news, we know that if it were to reach the Senate, it would be dead on arrival, anyways, because they're not going to have the numbers needed to follow through when it hits to the legislature. So what my prediction is basically is that Adam Schiff will, after having about 3 weeks of hearings and testimony and things like a lot of narrative creation, is going to then backpedal, make statements saying that um, he has changed his mind and thinks it's not good to follow through with impeachment due to the divisiveness in the country and him not wanting to perpetuate the divisiveness in the country. And then what you'll see at that point is that the House members will basically come together and create a censure towards the president, basically a statement condemning his actions as not necessarily illegal, but something that's inappropriate for his office and unfitting or unbefitting to the president. So they'll back off on the impeachment deal, drop it off that, give a censure so that they'll have a official statement from the House, and it'll be ammo basically for the election cycle. So this will, when him doing that, will basically stop the minority side, or the Republican side, to have a chance to call their own witnesses and to uncover dirt and other wrongdoing and things like that, that the Democratic side of the aisle has been up to. I'm not saying that the Republican side are choir boys by any means, but in our current state of politics, things are very ugly. Things are very nasty. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. They keep talking about quid pro quo. I mean, that's just standard operating procedure for our government, and it's been like that for a long time. So to say that, oh, quid pro quo was somehow unbefitting of the president's office, and was outside of regular channels, or was some way illegal or improper, is just hypocritical. It's hypocrisy at its finest. So, like I said, they're going to drop the impeachment inquiry before they go to vote on it. They'll censure the president. That way, they have an official statement from the House majority, and then at that point, it will be set up as to use against President Trump in the 2020 election, because they know that the Democrats know that their candidates are not the best and brightest. Now, but I'll also predict that that Schiff was head of the House Intelligence Committee. You're going to see the House Judiciary Committee coming up and doing their own version of impeachment inquiries. That way they can keep perpetuating the news cycle of, Orange Man bad, basically, of that Trump is somehow doing something illegal in with this realm. Look, and I'm not saying that the guy hasn't done something illegal. I don't know. All I'm saying is there's no evidence of it, and we live in a country of due process and laws, and for this impeachment process to be hijacked and used as political, or to be weaponized for political maneuvering, is disgusting. Our founders clearly warned us of this being a thing, of that once politics had degraded to the point where morality is just completely out the window, that impeachment may possibly be used as a political weapon, and we're seeing that right now. So before you see it on the mainstream media, before you see it on Twitter or whatever, mark my words, this current impeachment inquiry will be dropped. There will be a censure put out by the House Intelligence Committee, and then another impeachment inquiry will be picked up by the House Judiciary Committee, and it'll just be the same thing over and over again. They'll go outside of the norms of the impeachment processes. They'll just dictate things in a way to create a narrative that is just all about the next election. So I just want to have that on tape so that I can say that this is very obvious. I'm not anybody special. I'm not super smart, or I'm not a psychic or anything like this. If you pay attention and know what's going on, and read between the lines and look past the predictive programming put through by the traditional media these days in our country, like this stuff is very apparent. So I'll hopefully be doing some more content. I've decided to start making videos and kind of putting some of this out there, because I'm just really surprised a lot of people don't know this stuff. I mean, yeah, I maybe read and look into some of this stuff a little bit more than other people, but I mean, it's just astounding to me, the level of ignorance some people see in politics. They just go along with what some news anchor told them is the truth. And I mean, we've seen time and time again that you shouldn't just take people's word for things. Don't take my word for any of this stuff. Go look some of this stuff up. Go do your reading. Go do your digging. Go outside of the traditional media sources like ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, any of that stuff. Go a little outside of there and see what you can find, man. And I think you'd be very, very surprised how it's basically psychological operations or psychological warfare is being waged against the general public, to try to sway us, and mind control us into falling for their schemes, and not voting with our conscience. So appreciate y'all's time, and y'all have a great day.